Okay. All right, and we should be live. Yes, we are live. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever time of the day you're watching this. This is my presentation video for the Bayer Integrated Digital Label Hackathon. And without wasting much time, let's get started. Alright, so my name is Daniel Tobi Onipe. I'm a UI UX designer, a mobile app developer, as well as a software engineer. And yes, my team name is Big Dex, and passionate about innovation, creativity, and solving problems using digital technology. So, and this is my pitch for the Bayer Hackathon Farmers Companion app, which is this. So, alright, let's continue. And so basically, a prototype to solve the following pain points. So, of all the entire problem statement listed on the hackathon page, it can, in my own opinion, it can basically be narrowed down to three to six major points. The other areas, but basically 6 major areas. So first off, to boost farmers' productivity, basically an approach to use modern digital technology to increase profitability and yield for farmers. And secondly, a system of anti-forgery and a system of anti-forgery, such as to ensure that Bayer crop sciences products are not counterfeited by fraudsters and criminals. So, and then thirdly, farmers should be able to order Bayer products via the app. And also okay, I mean, it says 6 major points, actually 5. So market insights, basically it gives farmers tips and pointers on how they are performing in the market, and as well it also connects farmers with the final consumers directly, thereby eliminating the middlemen. Also, and finally, for the customer feedback, it has the Farmers Companion app has a reliable customer feedback system to address all questions, complaints, and inquiries that the farmer may have about Bayer and its individual product offerings. So the next slide, and basically, Farmers Companion app. Alright, this is an agrocentric app designed and built with the farmers in mind, with the aim of solving many challenges as well as addressing numerous pain points that may not seem visible on the surface but are actually there. So, and there are 6 major areas I'm trying to look at, I'm looking at to ensure that this is a success. So number 1 is prioritize. Majorly, this is going to be, since it's agrocentric, our first point of call is to ensure that the farmers are prioritized, are top priorities. So with the aim to boost farmers' productivity and profitability, such that they don't just farm and dish out farm produce without knowing how to monetize it and how to do this and how to sell. So secondly, encryption. The app would have on top of the line modern day technology, such as to eliminate forgery and counterfeiting. And thirdly, farmers can connect directly and sell directly to consumers from the app, in that they would from the insights to be given market areas where they can go directly and sell to consumers, as opposed to going through middlemen. So customer feedback disconnects farmers and the team at Bayer seamlessly through a reliable feedback system, such that at any point in time, any given time of the day, farmer has maybe a complaint or an inquiry about a specific product or anything really, or a query, there's a reliable feedback system such that the farmer can easily get quick and prompt feedback from buyer themselves. And then insights, this basically provides farmers with tips and advice on how to increase yield and how to increase their profitability. So that basically insights, it tells them teaches them how to go about teaches them new tricks on how to go about farming, maybe advanced tricks using digital technology on how to go about farming. We'll get more into that later. And finally, an online store, an e-store, where farmers can manage and track orders from within the e-store, which is in the app itself. So basically, along the way, you would see sample screens of what the UI would look like for the app, the mobile app. All right. So basically, in my opinion, this product is the first of its kind, and it aims to pull together various technologies into one app, so as to ensure that a whole lot of gray areas are highlighted, and these technologies will aim to ensure that those gray areas are properly solved and no stone is left unturned. So first off, it's unique. It will combine high-end technology into a single app that's user-friendly and it's easy to use. And next, first market is going to be the first of its kind in the digital space, as it has multiple approaches to earn money, both for the farmer and for buyer itself. So it's going to be the first of its kind in digital space. And then in development, it's currently in development. Yes, so thoroughly analyzed and undergoing routine agile approach, thinking and processes. Yes, so constantly reviewing the design, looking for ways to shorten the code, and yes, so that's basically it for development, and as well as authentic. So it's going to be aimed at helping farmers boost profit, and by using original and authentic products, in that with the aid of the encryption, farmers would be able to ensure that whatever product they are using on their farmland for their crop, it's authentic and it will do exactly what it says it will do. Now where they go get some other product, where they go get some product and it does exactly the opposite. So yes, that's basically it. And so now this is the business model I came up with for the Farmer's Companion app. And I left a little quote that says, once you see a challenge as an opportunity to grow, learn, and increase in value, success becomes inevitable. So this business model is going to be basically aimed at both farmers and Bayer crop science. So first off, using the app, farmers can earn from selling farm produce at full price directly to consumers and restaurants without the obstruction of middlemen. So instead of having to go through middlemen, and then they would end up losing a large chunk of money, because they would have to pay the middlemen themselves for the retail selling. But no, farmers would have the opportunity to sell directly. Farmers become the middlemen. They will do the wholesaling and retailing without having to go through the middleman. And then so basically they can earn from the app by selling farm produce at the price they want to sell, not what the middleman says they should, not the price the middleman says they should sell. So yes, and for Bayer, with this app, Bayer can generate revenue and income through an online store in the app where products will be displayed. So along the way I will show you a screen where I meant to design how the online store would look like, but it's going to be within the app. So where through this online store, farmers can buy products. Farmers can buy products from Bayer within the app, and it will be delivered to them, and that way Bayer makes money. Bayer generates income. So and next, so basically, I think I might have breezed through that. So basically, that was part one. This is the perfect time to go grab a cup of water. Don't worry, I'll wait for you. Yeah. So, right. Well, good to have you back. I presume you paused it to get your cup of water. So, let's continue. Part two. Right, and go. So, understanding the problem statement and the whole process behind the idea generation. All right, the task, it was fun. It was a really challenging time. Thinking about a way around the tax, being that okay, at least 10 items were listed under the things expected for as deliverables. So 10 items were listed. So it was challenging, and it was fun to think around this, and then read between the lines of the problem statement, and think of novel ways that okay, one can combine digital technology with farming, and at the same time boost farmers' productivity as well as boost Bayer's crop sciences revenue and income. So that's for the tax, and had to ask myself a couple of questions. Okay, if I'm the farmer, what would I want to see in a digital solution like that? And how can that digital solution aid my work and at the same time boost my profit? So yeah, that was basically it for the tax. And for the idea, used roughly 3 weeks to come up with this idea and its name, and with just one major thought behind it all, to ensure that the productivity and profitability of farmers are increased and improved. And then I also created a use case where the required features that were listed on the problem statement, as well as additional proposed features, can be implemented, and the steps required to implement that. Right, so next slide is okay. Has to do with the impact of the idea and possible setbacks. All right, so the impact of the idea. This is going to be a major game changer. I strongly believe it's going to be a major game changer, as it's going to change the agro sector for good, and as well as the digital space, and it will help farmers think just beyond the confines of tractor, hose, and it. So basically, and it will certainly revolutionize the way they think, how farmers think, and how they go about their farming activities. Yes, it may sound cliche, but it's all aimed at okay, how to boost farmer profitability, as well as ensure that Bayer's products are not forged nor counterfeited. Because if if it boosts farmers' profitability, but Bayer's products are easily forged, it's going to create an atmosphere for distrust and unreliability. So basically, this app eventually would have a huge impact as to ensure that okay, farmers yield from farm produce are boosted, as well as Bayer's products are not forged or counterfeited. So setbacks, it's normal. There will always be setbacks for every great idea in the past has always had setbacks, which had to be overcome for those ideas to become the great ideas we know them today. So particularly the fact that not all farmers would readily embrace the talk of digital technology, okay, aiding their farm work, because most farmers, particularly in places like Africa and India, still believe in the traditional ways of farming. So they may have that notion that okay, and now that we're in the time of the age of the metaverse, a couple of farmers will be thinking, oh, robots are going to take over their jobs, which we obviously know is not going to happen. But most farmers will be a little bit skeptical So that's one setback. And then so doubts will certainly arise on the side of the farmers, because they'll be thinking, okay, how will this ensure that their job is not taken and at the same time their profits are boosted? Yes. So for the setbacks, we have concluded that this would be solved is to carry out excessive surveys and market research, as well as basically awareness programs, such to help farmers get comfortable and get and open up to embrace this digital product. Let them know that, okay, it's not here to take over their job, it's just going to make their job easier and going to bring in more profits for them, the farmers. So yes, that's it. And all right, what the point of the technical and non-technical requirements? All right, so starting with the non-technical requirements, maybe a little bit technical, who knows. So basically, info sessions would be organized for farmers within a locality or region, and then final tickets to continent wise, then final ticket to countries, then continents. So as to help them on board and be self-aware about this digital product, about digital technology in farming, and how it can aid their profits and how it can aid their productivity as farmers, and virtual or on-site trainings for farmers and stakeholders within the agro sector. Basically, it's going to trainings would be held to help farmers and stakeholders understand that, okay, look, this is not going to take over what the system they currently have in place. It's just going to improve on the system, and then as well as bring in more profits and ensure that they don't have too much work to think about, and then in a little way lure them away from the non-traditional way of farming, which is much more stressful. So yes, that's it. And okay, for the technical requirements, basically the design aspect, the development aspect, and then the deployment. So basically, for this app, I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code as my code editor. Yes, because I mean, of course, there are a lot of code editors out there that I could use, but I'm much more comfortable with Visual Studio Code. I designed the screens you will see in the next slide. I designed them in Figma, and the source code, the repository of the source code will be on GitHub, preferably GitHub. Did I say GitHub or GitLab? Preferably GitHub. And the application itself, by the way, the GitHub repo would be a private repo, so only someone who has linked to it, which I would leave in this video, which I would leave in my submission project, my submission folder. I'll leave a link to that GitHub repo. And then the main application, I'm still a little bit undecided as to whether to use React Native or Flutter. I've used both of them. I've used both React Native and Flutter, and considerably React Native is actually faster. Yes, so I will most likely go with React Native. And then for the backend, I've decided to use Python. I could use Golang or PHP. For some reason, I just felt I could use Python. I'm comfortable with writing APIs and building scripts in Python for backend. So yes, and for cloud storage, I said Google Cloud Platform or Microsoft Azure. I'm familiar with both of them. Yes, so still a little bit undecided as to what to use, which of them to use. I could go for AWS, but it's way more complex than GCP or Azure. So that's that. And for Firebase is going to basically handle authentication and requests. Basically, going to handle authentication and requests. Going to handle how APIs that will be used in the app will communicate with each other, as well as communicate with various points of the app, both the front end and the back end. So yes, that's it. Technical requirements, and hold on. Perfect. So this is basically what the UI looks like currently. I've left. I uploaded a couple of screens to my project submission. So this is basically the first screen right here. Basically the first screen that the farmer would come across upon entering the app. Right here it says supported by Bayer Crop Science. Yeah, because this is hackathon for Bayer Crop Science. So it's going to be a platform to help farmers get started, to help them boost their productivity on the farm. So we'll get more into this about in the next coming slides. I'll get more into this about the QR code scanner and all that. So this is what the screen would look like on the shop aspect, where farmers can actually search for products, and yes, where farmers can actually search for products from within the app. So this is what the navigation bar will look like. So yes, and yeah, that's it. So next slide. So agile thinking and approach. This covers app lifecycle, design, code quality, bugs, basically review, feedback, and then room for improvement. So basically, number one, I'm starting with designing and building the app itself. So this is basically where the magic happens. The user interface as well as the user experience is done and reviewed, and ensure that it's simple. The farmer doesn't need to have multiple clicks to get a particular tags done. The farmer doesn't need how much we get particular tags done, and it's fairly straightforward for the farmer to understand. So he doesn't have to start thinking, okay, how do I go about this and all that. So the next stage after that is develop, prototype, and deploy. So at this point, this is where we would invite beta testers to test the apps, where bugs will be identified and handled before the final app is released to app stores, because nobody wants a buggy app in the app store, right? So on doing after the development phase, the next is customer feedback. So this customer feedback would, after deploying to Play Store, of course no app is perfect, so from the app's first set of users, we will get feedback on how to make the app better. And now these users obviously are farmers, so this is where they would log in, feedback, suggestions, and complaints as to this is how the app is behaving, this is what the feel should be added, this is what the feel should be removed, or this is what the feel should be improved. So open to customer feedback at all times. And here at this point, review and improve, which is not necessarily the final stage, because this is a circle, so the app continues to undergo that whole process of redesign, redevelop, review, reiterate, reevaluate, and just to ensure that the app meets its purpose throughout its lifetime. Yes, so that basically it's for agile thinking and approach. So yes, now this is where we get into the so this is basically additional features. I call it additional features in that I thought about this after I was done with some parts of the design. I thought about these features could be added after the app has been deployed, maybe at version 1.5, 1.2. These additional features could be added at a later date during the app's lifetime. So first off, profitability. Farmers will be able to see and forecast their profits, the set projections, supposed to be profits. So you'll be able to see and calculate their profits for every crop grown, and see how and where Bayer's products helped in that profit, in that crop, in ensuring that they recorded high yield for that particular crop. So yes, and then the next is crop yield. This is where farmers will be able to see predictions about let's say they planted groundnut or hazelnut or corn. From within the app, they would be able to see that look, by using a particular product from Bayer, they will be able to calculate, they will be able to see predictions about the crop yield and its turnover, with just all within the app, without using Bayer's product and with using Bayer's product. So they would have the opportunity to test it out, so that they know that they're not just buying a product from They're buying Bayer's crop products from Bayer Crop Science, but they know that okay, these products actually do what it says it will do. So thirdly, video call functionality. This is aimed at making the customer feedback experience way more smooth, and the video call functionality would be integrated within the app itself, such that farmers can interact with supportive teams and individuals from Bayer Crop Science, be it the product team or the research and development team. So that way the farmers get comfortable with, okay, this app belongs to Bayer, and they can have seamless communication with Bayer without having to think about, okay, start writing a log of information and all that. So yes, and next, okay, additional features part 2. The fourth one is helpful insights and tips, just as I mentioned earlier, where they will be able to look at the insights, particularly here, right, in this particular slide. This button right here would have the function, will give farmers the ability to look at insights and tricks and tips on how to go about their farming activities, as well as boost farm yield and profitability. So, and then additional features under the insights section of the app, there would also be videos that will be properly curated to help teach and enlighten farmers as they go about their farming journey. And now the beautiful part about this app is that it can be helpful for both experienced farmers as well as someone who is just a millennial like myself, who is just coming into the agro industry. So it would help to take things from the basics, from the very fundamental level up until advanced, such that it teaches anyone who is just whether the person is an experienced farmer or just getting into agricultural just getting into agriculture. So it will help teach and enlighten farmers about advanced farming techniques, as well as helpful tricks and tips. So also these videos would have features like subtitles, captions, and translations, such that any farmer at any point at any place of the world or any continent would be able to watch these videos and understand, be that the farmer is based somewhere in Botswana or India or China or Japan or the US or Finland. They would have the ability to change the subtitles and the audio to a language they are more comfortable with, basically their own language. So and yes, so for the remaining two covers QR codes. So for the QR code, this was basically what this is what I thought about. Okay, being that the QR code is going to be embedded with relevant information and documents about that particular product. Basically, it's going to for it to be flexible and dynamic, that's the QR code for every product would link to a URL that is unique to that product category and product listings under that category. In that, no two separate products under two separate categories can lead to the same URL. For instance, let's say this for herbicides, and then for insecticide, and for, let's say, Delaro Complete or Husky Complete, the two of them cannot link. They would have a QR code on their label, so both of them, the two QR codes will not link to the same place, but to link to different places that are unique to that particular product. So the QR code on the Husky Complete label would link to a documentation. For Husky Complete label, and then for deliverable complete the same thing. So basically, if you have Husky complete, for instance, and on scanning the QR code, it should be within the app, it should display relevant information such as legal documents, safety guidelines, product information, expiry dates. We also handle data input and all that. So basically, on scanning the QR code from within the app, it should lead us to here. It wouldn't not necessarily create like an external link in the browser, but within the app itself, it will display the full this information. Just a quick second, and yes. So basically, on scanning something like, for instance, Husky complete, and it has a QR code, it will give you the full. It will give all of this information, but in a mobile app. Within the mobile app itself, it will give you its product category, its name, information like its net content, ingredients, warnings, like that, and all these precautionary statements, legal, and all that. Basically, as well as agricultural use, information, biological activities, basically the good stuff. So that's for the QR code. Also it would, now this the best way, of course, since it's going to be, the aim is for it to be dynamic. It's not the QR code won't be changed in that sense of it. Anything that needs to be updated, let's say for instance, let me pull this back up. Let's say for instance, something needs to be changed here within this product information and all that, and dosage, application methods, and all that. Something needs to be changed. There won't be need to start recalling every Husky complete every Husky complete herbicide that has been sent out. But no, or start thinking about changing the entire QR code. No, but since the QR code is going to be linked to a URL, since QR code is going to pull data from the URL, because that's where APIs come into place. So it will pull data from the URL and display it on the app. So if for any reason something needs to be changed here within this Husky label, it wouldn't affect the QR code already embedded on the label of the product. Basically, the URL, the information within the URL will just be changed, but then the URL cannot be changed, such that because the QR code is linked to that particular URL, and that URL is unique to Husky complete or whichever other product it could be. So yeah, that's basically, and that's where it will support, and that's how it's going to support changes, maintenance, and updates on data input, as well as delivery data, product lifespan, usage, and then handle diverse information about individual products. It also contains things like expiry dates and batch numbers, so farmers know that okay, they are expected to use this within a given time frame. So yeah, that's basically it. And yes, so this is my proposed timeline for an action plan. So basically, this is 2021 September, October. This is the idea stage, where I came up with the idea and then submitted the previous PowerPoint slide, basically explaining like a rough sketch of what the idea would be all about. So, and yes, so this is basically the idea, October to November 2021, and November 2021 is going to be the design. I'm going to, I think I should have left a link to the Figma project in the GitHub repo, so that will be available. And so by December we'll get feedback. By December get the first feedback, so that by January, and then by the end of January, by till end of January, or maybe even February or March, an MVP would be created, and then would have its first set of prototype users who would look at it. Of course, it's an MVP, not all functionalities will be working. So, and after that we'll get a second feedback, and So within April up until July, August, September, the app should have launched into Play Store. Now, all of these, okay, before I get to that, the app would have by July, August, September of 2022, which is next year. The app should have launched on all app stores, iTunes and Google Play Store, and then by this same time next year, within this same time next year, November, December, the design will be reviewed again. Such that okay, it's user friendly and it won't have too many clicks for farmers to go through. So yeah, that's basically it. And this whole idea would need to be me and Bea would need to be in touch, such as to ensure that this QR code option, this QR code functionality will, particularly this QR code, yes, or these are under additional features, but this is one of like the primary features. So such that it should be implemented, because this is like the primary, it's like one of the key points of this entire app, such as to ensure that okay, farmers are served with authentic Bayer products, and at the same time Bayer products are not forged by fraudsters. Yes, so that's basically it. And unfortunately, we've come to the end of this presentation. Just as I said, I've left links to the GitHub repo, the private GitHub repo, as well as the Figma project. So basically, this is basically my presentation for my proposal for the Farmers Companion app. I'm Daniel Tobi Onipe, and these are my contact details, and as well as my LinkedIn profile. So thank you, and it was nice doing this. So thank you.